Londres.
We can see the first contours of a post-EU immigration policy coming into view, and at first glance it looks extremely heartening. What Theresa May is reported to be proposing is fair, effective and timely. Fair because it recognises the rights and the dignity of the EU nationals already in the United Kingdom. Effective because it will reduce overall numbers, especially of unskilled workers, while still allowing employers to find the talent they need. And timely because we have a cut-off point from when Article 50 is triggered. We're not trying to backdate it, which would be monstrously unjust to EU nationals who have chosen to make their lives in the UK, nor, however, are we waiting until Brexit formally takes effect, which could lead to a rush of people trying to beat the deadline. Most people in the UK understand that controlling our borders is not the same thing as closing our borders. We want to remain open to the world, friendly to neighbours in Europe and to allies further afield, but we want to have some sense that we are in charge of roughly who comes in and roughly in what numbers. What's being proposed is exactly in line with that principle. There will be a presumption that EU nationals can come and work on a renewable 5-year visa. The main difference is that they won't be able to claim benefits during those 5 years. Now, as a matter of general principle, that's very hard to argue with. Our welfare system works on the basis that we all collectively fill the pot when we're working, and we can then draw on it if need arises. Plainly, you can't have a system where 65 million Brits are filling a pot, but 500 million EU nationals are entitled to empty it. And taking away those top-up in-work benefits will have a significant impact on numbers. At the moment, if you're able to add to your basic wage with tax credits, with help with housing benefit and child benefit if you have kids in your country of origin, you're able substantially to increase your salary. If you swap an average wage job in Romania for a minimum wage job in the UK, you add on all of those in-work benefits and you're better off net. Take them away and that's no longer the case. So we will still have migrants, and this will barely affect the skilled migrants. We'll still have the capacity to bring people in who want to work in the hospitality industry, in parts of agriculture, construction, but it will no longer be loaded by the welfare system. In other words, EU nationals will have the same ability to come and work here without the extra top-up pay that people have from Brazil, Canada, or any other friendly country. Now, what could be more reasonable than that? And the extraordinary thing is that other countries in Europe don't want the same thing. That they're rather content with their existing system of completely open borders than with having some regulated, controlled immigration system. Well, I say other countries in Europe. I'm pretty certain that almost every electorate in Europe would prefer a British system to the current system of free movement. But of course, their leaders, their political elites have elevated the goal of European integration above that of sensible immigration controls. Even if in its own terms, that is a potentially dangerous policy. If you store up resentment, you could end up with a real populist backlash, leading to border closures and expulsions, rather than a moderate, balanced system such as Theresa May is now proposing for the United Kingdom. We ultimately will decide who comes here. We won't have a foreign court determining who can enter the United Kingdom or who can evade deportation. Having taken back control, we will have a measure of controlled, legal primary immigration, but on the basis that we decide. What could be fairer than that?